Hello everyone, and welcome to my The Bold Fans channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Ivy tells Dylan to get out of Los Angeles immediately, and the confrontation takes an unexpected turn. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Dylan's impending confrontation will take an unexpected turn when Ivy Forrester orders him to leave Los Angeles as soon as possible. Ivy will remain in Los Angeles to see a terrifying incident at Will Spencer's beach house because she decided not to travel to San Francisco with Elektra Forrester. Dylan will do a dance performance while wearing ballet slippers after Will and Dylan have finished watching Hayes Finnegan. Before Dylan falls into Will's lap, she will find a way to practice one of her hidden skills. Ivy will think Dylan is going too far after she sees him with Will through the window. Ivy will eventually get into a heated argument with Dylan and begin making allegations because of this. Ivy will believe that Dylan wants Elektra's guy for herself, but according to BNB teasers, she won't allow Dylan to take Will away. Ivy won't want Dylan to be another obstacle that Elektra and Will have already conquered. Ivy won't want to hear Dylan's hurried explanation. Rather, Ivy will simply want Dylan to leave, so she will encourage Dylan to gather her belongings and leave. Ivy will tell Dylan to get out of Los Angeles as soon as possible, and she might even try to make sure she leaves before Elektra gets back from her trip. When Ivy encourages Dylan to take herself out of the picture entirely, Dylan will be caught off guard. Naturally, Dylan is still looking for work to help her get back on her feet. Dylan no longer needs to live in her car thanks to the guest room over Will's garage. Ivy will attempt to put Dylan back in danger, although she might counter that Dylan ought to have considered it before going too far with Will. After Ivy's outburst, Dylan might be tempted to leave, but Will might hear about it and put an end to it. Will might easily insist that Dylan stay, particularly if he believes Ivy is exaggerating a miscommunication. In any case, spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful indicate that Dylan has a future in Los Angeles because Sydney Bullock is under contract. Bold and gorgeous chaos. The Forrester family may become even more enraged with Katie's next hire. Katie from Bold and Beautiful originally got into trouble with the people at Forrester Creations for having the audacity to launch her own clothing brand. By obtaining the rights to her own name, Logan, for the business, she exacerbated the alleged harm. They have no idea that she has hired Eric as the lead designer, which will blow their minds, and we already have a feeling that another catastrophe is imminent. On Bold and Beautiful, everything happens for a reason. On Monday's episode, Will and Katie talked extensively about Dylan's predicament in a number of scenes. They went into such detail that the dialogue began to seem like a public service announcement. This is not surprising given how many social concerns the soap opera has addressed over the years, but it was nonetheless insightful. How? In short, Dylan needs a job, and Katie has a business that needs workers. So, you can see where this is going. If our suspicions are right, Will's mother will call Dylan on Tuesday and offer her a job at Logan. You're undoubtedly asking yourself, but why would the Forresters care? If it weren't for what's going to happen, this evaluation would be accurate. They're not hiring her. Dylan and Will find themselves in a precarious situation, which alters everything, as we hinted at in a previous narrative. The Forresters, or at least one of them, will attempt to drive the wide-eyed art school teacher out of town since they think Dylan was pursuing Elektra's boyfriend. As soon as word spreads at Forrester Creations, Katie's hiring of Dylan will become yet another slight to the first family of fashion. Even before the huge reveal that Eric is creating a couture line for Logan, we are certain that Katie employing Dylan will become another source of conflict between her and Bridge. Battle lines are being drawn and tensions are mounting. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Elektra's fears are confirmed as Dylan's chemistry with Will explodes. Melissa Dylan poses a threat to Elektra Forrester, according to spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. There is more to what at first appeared to be an excessively dramatic reaction to Will Spencer's home guest. It made sense that Elektra would continue to be extremely sensitive to any woman who interacted with Will outside of his family and acquaintances. It took months for the Luna Nozawa nightmare to come to an end. The fact that Melissa unintentionally struck and killed Luna in the episode that turned out to be Nozawa's farewell on the program is pretty hilarious and delightfully soapy. However, it's reasonable to question if Bullock's persona is being completely honest about that hit-and-run incident. Bullock joined the cast of Melissa. Dylan realizes a first name last year. Dylan had no last name when he was introduced as Hayes Finnegan's summer art instructor. Temporary or supporting characters frequently lack full names. Dylan's recent comeback to the program, however, made it quite evident that she would have a regular role. Her initial name was revealed in January, confirming this character's significance. Additionally, it opens the door for Melissa to grow beyond the miserable young woman, who is unemployed and resides in the garage apartment on the seaside property that Bill Spencer is letting his youngest son occupy. There is no banter between Will and Electra. Will Spencer is devoted to his girlfriend. They are a couple. There is nothing improper with referring to this pair in that manner given their ages. However, what would Dylan be if she and Will become romantically involved? One phrase that could be used at that stage of the story is, the other woman. However, Ivy Forrester, Electra's aunt, will probably give Melissa a different name. In a very embarrassing moment, teasers depict Ivy peering in through Will's window. Ivy's interpretation of what she sees is not entirely accurate. Melissa made an effort to stay away from Will, but Morrow's character insisted that she ignore Electra's cautions. Regardless of Will's or Melissa's desires, it is trouble. Electra Forrester has a new option as Melissa is seen as a potential threat. An unexpected option for Electra emerged. R.J. Forrester has returned to Los Angeles, California, and has no intention of leaving anytime soon. Like his father, he obviously enjoys Electra and is intolerant of the Spencer brand. Will, who is very different from Bill, told R.J. straight out that they shouldn't make the same mistakes as their father. But two triangles, or even a traditional soap opera triangle, are being sketched. During the day, the audience should anticipate developing conflict. Daphne likes Carter and Dylan gets a call. As they watch Hayes on the Bold and the Beautiful, Will and Dylan get closer. Steffi and Electra are excited to see Dottie, while Carter and Daphne have a lovely moment. A significant day both in and out of Los Angeles. She receives a call as Will and Dylan are cuddling. Additionally, Daphne spends some time with Carter as Steffi and Electra greet a significant visitor to Forrester Creations. Key takeaways. While watching Hayes, Dylan and Will became closer, but the atmosphere was changed by an unexpected phone call. Carter and Daphne had a private, passionate moment that showed how serious their engagement had grown. A crucial business visit was signaled when Steffi and Electra welcomed a well-known visitor to Forrester Creations. A significant link to Forrester history was introduced with the arrival of Dottie and her assistant. Hayes is being babysat by Dylan and Will, who appear to be enjoying themselves. All three of them are grinning. All three of them end up in the chat when Dylan receives a call. Dylan and Will seem to be getting along, of course. Carter and Daphne's stolen moments. Daphne is assembling a display at work. She lets Carter divert her attention when he joins her. It appears that their engagement is going well as the two share a kiss. Electra and Steffi welcome visitors. Electra and Steffi are excited to meet famous people. These two proceed to meet Dottie, a friend of Stephanie Forrester and her helper Joseph. General Hospital, Young and Restless Days (BNB), and BTG Week of January 26th are all coming and going. Here are the most recent casting details for General Hospital, Young and Restless, Beyond the Gates, Bold and Beautiful, and Days of Our Lives, including the recast of a heritage character and the eagerly awaited comebacks of two veteran stars. Who's coming? Beyond the Gates. Ben Gavin. Ashley is asked to mediate a fight between Derek and Grayson this week. Malachi Malik. Jacob's father is spending more time on screens this week. Kovar McClure. McClure will play Lance in a number of episodes. When McClure made a brief appearance on GH in 2022 as Dr. Nelson, he scolded Epiphany for what he believed to be Willow's special care. Greg Vaughn. As Kyle pursues Nicole, the Daytime Emmy winner gets more airtime this week. Kinja. Madison and Chelsea's relationship is still a source of tension this week. Bold and Beautiful. Ashley Brewer. On Tuesday, January 27th, Joseph, who plays Dottie's secretary, will appear in scenes with Steffi and Electra. Brewer, a real-life newlywed, is in for a huge week as Ivy, who discovers Will in an intimate moment with Dylan. Bullock, who is unrelated to Sydney Bullock, a cast member of BNB, has previously appeared on the show as a guest star. He portrayed a wedding coordinator named Serge in 2005 and 2009. Hollywood Squares and the sitcom Too Close for Comfort among the actor's most well-known roles. Morgan Fairchild, who periodically appears on Jitch's Haven de Havilland, the host of the Home Shopping Channel, will make a guest appearance on Tuesday, January 27th as the affluent Dottie, a part she originally portrayed in 2009. Brian David Garlick, the son of Steffi and Finn, receives greater airtime. Ariel D. King. Look for harmony in the scenes between Steffi and Elektra that take place in San Francisco. Spencer Pratt. On Wednesday, January 28th, reality star and social media influencer Pratt will make a comeback. Last year, he and his wife Heidi Montag made an appearance on the show as themselves. Days of Our Lives' Judy Evans. On Thursday, January 29th, the daytime Emmy-winning veterinarian will make an appearance. Dan Feuerriegel. EJ is back in the Salem mix this week after being off the canvas for over a month. Alice Halsey. On Friday, January 30th, the disturbed youngster shares scenes with her Aunt Belle and mother Kristen. Tina Huang. On Thursday, January 29th, Huang is expected to reappear. Wally Kurth. On Thursday, January 29th, the beloved lawyer will be present. Hank Northrup. On Tuesday, January 27th, Liam and Abe share scenes. Melissa Reeves. The scenes with Justin include Jennifer. Louise Sorrell. On Friday, January 30th, the notorious Salem pot stirrer will make a comeback. Sorrell made her Days debut in 1992, but she hasn't been seen since 2025. She left in 2000, came back from 2009 to 2011 and from 2017 to 2018, and then began making more appearances in 2020. Richard Wharton. On Monday, January 26th, Dr. Rolfe returned, and Wharton appeared in scenes with Emily O'Brien. Asher Antonazin from General Hospital. Danny will appear in scenes this week, including ones with Bluesy Burke. Bluesy Burke. Charlotte's screen time should increase as Port Charles's temps decline. Finn Carr. On Wednesday, January 28th, Dante and Lulu's youngster will make another appearance. Wes Ramsey. The actor made an unexpected comeback last week when Anna appeared to have a hallucination of her nephew, whom she had witnessed pass away in 2022. Stephen A. Smith. This week, the esteemed member of Sonny's organization reappears and appears in scenes with Carly, Jordan, and Jocelyn, among other characters. Kirsten Storms. Maxie appears to be nearing the end of his months-long coma. A show representative later revealed to Digest that Maxie will debut on Thursday, February 12th. Storms, who has been away from the program for a long time and was last seen on TV in August 2025, announced on Instagram that she is back at work. James Patrick Stewart. This week, expect to see more communication between Valentine and Carly. Little and restless Ethan Ray Clark. The twins River Ware and Rain Ware's role as Abby and Devon's little boy has been recast for Clark. Cameron Grimes. This week, Mariah reappears in the center of a plot that seems to be going to cause Abby and Devon a lot of distress. Ray Wise. Wise will continue to be perceived as Mariah's incarnation, since she hopes to meet the evil Ian once more. Who's going young and restless Rain Ware and River Ware. The twin performers haven't been seen on the Y&R canvas for more than a year, but they have now formally given up the character of Dominic to a recast, Ethan Ray Clark, after playing it from 2021 to 2024. Who's staying General Hospital Cameron Matheson. Setside insiders tell Digest that there are no plans to script Drew's departure, despite the most recent reports that suggested Matheson might leave Port Charles. Real-life status health update. A year ago, Colin Egglesfield, who portrayed Joshua Madden on All My Children, the son of Erica Kane who was taken and brought up by Dr. Greg Madden, revealed that he had received a third cancer diagnosis. He recently told the fantastic news that he is cancer-free and feeling great. The actor received a testicular cancer diagnosis in 2006, underwent treatment, then discovered the cancer had returned the following year. He was then diagnosed with prostate cancer in 2024. That same year, he underwent a medical procedure known as a prostatectomy. Egglesfield said, "Luckily, they discovered it early enough that I didn't have to do any radiation or chemotherapy or anything." The fourth season of Justin Hartley's CBS show Alumni Report Tracker has been renewed. Mark Consuelos, a former member of AMC, is set to make his Broadway debut in Fallen Angels. On March 27th, performances will start. Among others, Consuelos will co-star with Kelly O'Hara, Rose Byrne, and Asif Manvi. On January 22nd, The 98th Academy Award nominations were revealed. Michael B. Jordan, a former cast member of All My Children, was nominated for his first Oscar, Outstanding Lead Actor, for his performance in Sinners. Industry news in loving memory. GH said that a special episode will be produced in remembrance of the late Anthony Geary, who died in December 2025. The program, which premieres on Friday, February 20th, will honor Luke Spencer, Geary's well-known alter persona. Is Ivy from B&B purposefully attempting to ruin Elektra's relationship with Will? It's possible that Ivy Forrester is acting strategically to make sure her niece breaks up with Will Spencer. Ivy from The Bold and the Beautiful has never trusted Will, but it hasn't prevented Elektra, her niece, from dating him. Ivy suspects Will is just like his father, and she might be correct. Is she, however, deliberately attempting to ruin Elektra's relationship? Important takeaways. Ivy has been worried about the bond between Elektra and Will. Additionally, she worries that Elektra went too far in the bedroom with her partner. It's possible that Elektra's concerns were caused by her aunt rather than her friendship with Remy, as she had previously stated. In the Monday, January 26th episode of B&B, Elektra and Dylan establish certain ground rules as a result of Elektra's insecurities. While she is away on a business trip, she instructed her friend to stay at the guest home. Elektra was reassured by Dylan that her boundaries would be respected. She was aware of Elektra's worries. Elektra acknowledged how much she has missed Will, and how busy she has been at work. Dylan assured Elektra that she would honor her desires. Surprisingly, Elektra's insecurity about their relationship isn't related to Luna. Since Remy abused her confidence, Elektra has struggled to trust others. Is she certain that her aunt hasn't recently irritated her? Ivy's worries about Elektra's relationship. Although Ivy has been a helpful aunt, she is limited in what she can do. She expressed her lack of trust in Will. He is, after all, Bill's son. Ivy understands what it's like to fall in love with a Spencer man, especially one who has feelings for someone else. Who is Liam's greatest love? She is transferring her own problems with trust onto her niece. The Australian was also upset about her niece's connection. She dislikes that after spending time with Will, Elektra has sneaked back into the Forrester home late at night. These ideas have also been projected onto Elektra, who acknowledges that she doesn't want the Forresters to see of her as that kind of girl. The sabotaging Aunt Ivy's illness prevented her from attending Elektra's business trip on Monday's episode. Steffi would be going with her instead. However, this week's preview depicts Ivy looking through Will's beach house window and discovering him in a compromising situation with Dylan. Was her purpose for leaving the business trip to spy on Will? She might be trying to ruin their relationship by doing this.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.